And hello to all my friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your singles and couples love tarot, love readings for all of the signs. I do these on the 7th, the 17th, and the 27th of every single month. If you see your sign in the text right here, the overlay, you are in the right place, the right video. I have to split these into two videos because they get so long. If your sign is not in the text, you are in the other video. I put the link for that in the description to help you find that easier, so nice and simple. And also there's the timestamp here, as well as chapters broken up so you can find your sign right away. I do singles and couples in the same slot. So I'm going to use all the 6 of my tarot decks here. 4 of them are tarot decks, 2 are angel oracle card decks. This is going to be very fast-paced reading, a fast-paced spread. We're just going to get right into it. So let's get going. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save time so that we can just do the ritual cuts and just roll it right out. So let's get started. Starting first is going to be Cancer. Cancer is first. And then with the gold deck here, it's going to be a whole bunch of signs using this. That one's ready. This one, ritual cut, cuts the deck into 3 pieces, puts it back together in separate order, and then they're ready to go. So here we go for Cancer singles. Cancer singles are first. Big theme there. Cancer couples over here. Big theme here as well. Big themes going on for Cancers these next 10 days here from November 27th going into early December. Big themes. Let's see why here, and let's see why here. Okay. So for Cancer singles, the first thing they want to talk about is making sure everything's very pure right now, very purified. There cannot be any toxicity here. For some of you, they're showing that that's coming up. It's affecting your lifestyle, so any kind of anything that it's not good for if it affects your physical health, it's just got to go. It's not good for you. That's what's coming up first. And if this is not you, if what I'm describing makes no sense to you, then that's good. This message is probably not for you. At least this part of it is not. But there's a lot of you that have some kind of toxic sludge going on here that they want you to address. They want you to address and nip it out so it's basically gone, because there's growth here. As long as you're improving, I guess that's another good point to mention. As long as you're growing and improving, being okay with being single or whatever it is going on in your love corner, because your love corner can expand out to also your friends and family. So we want to get rid of any toxicity that's there, because so this can grow, so you can grow. We over here we have usually it's big money, but in this case it's probably about a man, perhaps an earth sign male, which would be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn coming up. It's just a mention. I feel like it's not specific. I don't want to tie it down too tight, but it's something they at least wanted to bring up and mention for you singles. So I don't know if that's something that you've already looked at, or perhaps there's one of those signs in your life. It's coming up quite a bit for Cancer, so it's a very strong vibration there. So I go back to the main card. Really just make sure that you're healthy here being single. You don't want to act from a place where you're doing something just out of like weakness or anything like that. So make sure that we have a purification going on so you can grow. That's what they show for my Cancer singles. As we move into Cancer couples, they talk about a very fast change in the winds here. And a lot of you have seen this coming. This is not completely by surprise. This is something you saw coming, and maybe it's just happening maybe a little faster than you expected it to, or here it is, and it's just popping up right here. They show that a lot of you really need to take control of your love corner. And like I just said for the single Cancers, your love corner can expand out. It can also be about family and friends. So this might not even be about your person that you're in a relationship with. We have a message coming in very, very soon. On top of this one, that's a later date. It's not going to be too much later, though. It comes in very quick. It's a love message, so it's very it's a correspondence of some form that's very important to my Cancer couples. Over here, we end with the Angel Oracle card that says courage. So it's time to be courageous. Really stand up for yourself. Not a time to get pushed around. It's kind of a time to be a little defensive and dig in. And what is worth fighting for? What's not worth fighting for? These are the questions that you should be kind of addressing and going through these next 10 days. So that's what we have for Cancers. So next we're going to get into Aries. Aries is next. Big themes there. All right, Aries. Aries is ready. Aries singles. Short and sweet. And Aries couples. A little bit more going on there. Okay, so Aries singles, they're talking about a small victory here. A lot of you have moved in a right direction here in some form. So I don't know if this is like a successful, like a date or meeting somebody new, or maybe it's just, you're okay with being single. Whatever it is, it's showing a small success. It's almost like, it's just like a notification or an acknowledgement or almost like a trophy case award type thing, something like that. So it's a very good small win. It's not a huge deal, but it's a small win. It's a step in the right direction. They show a lot of you, they really want you to work on new ideas here. They don't want you to get stuck on old ideas at all. I don't think you struggle that much with that, but it's coming up for a reason. They want you to really start expanding yourself in your love corner. Think about the ways you can take it, how you can attract the people you want to attract, and what you can do about the ones that you attract you don't want to keep around and stick in your energy bubble and so forth. So that's what we have for Aries singles. As we move into Aries couples, they talk about a very busy time. A lot of you have a lot going on right now. Aries couples, a lot of activity, a lot of moving parts. They show that there is the death card comes up next. It's usually not physical death. Some of you may be dealing with some kind of death or loss, but usually this is a complete change with something else in the relationship or with the family, sometimes even friends. But this is a complete renewal, like on a cellular level. So there can be no carryover at all from the past, from whatever transpired before, all that kind of stuff there. They do show the King of Wands at the end here. It's an interesting way to put it. They want you to take authority over this corner as well as work. Work comes up. Some of you may have had an imbalance with that. They do actually show that you're doing a good job with this. So it's an interesting message because they want to bring it up, but they say you're doing a good job of it. So usually when that comes up, I talk about that like a continuance. They want you to continue doing a really good job with how you're balancing your work life with your home life and your family. All that stuff's going real well, but they bring it up because you're going to need to continue to do so, especially with that death card coming up, that complete clean slate. It's a good opportunity to bring the family into a new era. Really good stuff there. So that's what we have for Aries couples. Next we move into Pisces. Pisces is next. Ready to go here. Pisces singles. And Pisces couples. For my Pisces singles, they want to talk about an action, mostly making up your mind. It doesn't even need to be a physical action. This is more of a mental or a cerebral action represented by the Knight of Swords. Sword suit is usually very mental. So it could be also illusionary. It might not even be real. And that's why, making up your mind, the ideas in your mind, all that's, up there. It's not actually physical to the touch real. So that's what they're talking about here, is taking action in your mind, with your mindset, with your thoughts, where you're going to take your love corner, what you want it to do, what kind of people you want to attract, or are you okay being single for a while, working on yourself, being a little selfish. There's nothing wrong with that sometimes. So that's what they show there. They show it's a very action time these next 10 days for you. In your mind. Doesn't mean you have to make actual physical changes. You don't have to go on physical dates or meet people like in person. This could very much be just in the air type vibe. Over here they show that you really need to hone your energy into one thing. A lot of you are spread too far apart here. So this may be people that are too far apart. This may also be just energetically that, you're putting energy into this person and really you just need to focus on one person at a time type thing. So depending on where you fit in that Pisces spectrum, they're basically saying it's a hone down of energy. So the common definition for everybody is going to be, just really kind of don't be so scattered right now. These next 10 days, it's a good opportunity to kind of be a little bit tunnel vision, work on one thing or one goal. Over here, the last thing that they wrap up for that is getting over some kind of illness, some kind of sickness. Now, this may be a love sickness. I've seen it come up that way before. It could also be like a flu. Could be an actual sickness or something that has impaired your mind, or a high stressor, high anxiety, all that stuff. But it shows you getting over it now. So within these next 10 days, hopefully it's an opportunity to work past some things that have hung you up on before. And if it's a physical sickness, just know that that's working itself out too. So that's what we have there for Pisces singles. As we get into Pisces couples, they want to talk about a small setback, small failure perhaps, or just something that was unsuccessful. There's a level of unsuccess here that's represented by the Nine of Cups inverted. That is my trophy case card, but inverted, it means the opposite. So it's saying like, we can't really celebrate this. We can't really give you an award for this because it's blocked. It's not here yet, or it means basically unsuccessful. So something happened there. I'm not exactly sure what, but small kind of setback there, and it might not even be in the relationship. It could also expand out to family and friends. So there's a level there that you're dealing with for quite a bit of my Pisces couples. They show hard work, so that's the way through this. You got to kind of just do the work. You got to, do what it takes to get through it, whether it's counseling within the relationship or whether it's actually going through the internal work. Maybe it's sometimes it's your fault and it's not the partner's fault, or whatever it is. Like I said, even that when this expands out into the family, you may just have to be there for certain people. It may not even be about you doing anything for yourself. You may be helping other people. That's what comes up here. So hard work, and also learning. A lot of learning comes up here for Pisces couples. So that's what we have there. Next, we move into Aquarius. Aquarius is next, and that's going to be a deck change. So this one is done. I'll move it out of my way, and we're going here. So I need to ritual cut this deck, and then it's ready to run. Aquarius singles come up right here. And Aquarius couples. Okay, for Aquarius singles, we really want to talk about getting over being a little bit tied down. So there's some more freedom, there's more mobility these next 10 days. It's a good opportunity to do things that maybe you didn't do before, or maybe just new experiences, new kind of endeavors. Try something you haven't done before in love. Very good opportunity. Maybe date somebody that maybe before they weren't your type, or there was just something off. Be a little bit more open right here. But with that freedom and mobility, it gives you a lot of opportunity. They don't want you to use it for bad luck. That's what comes up here. So these next 10 days, there may be factors here that are just not your fault. Anytime bad luck comes up, it just means that it's just the circumstance. It's the the environment more so than you. So this is not your fault. This is not anybody's fault. This is just an era perhaps, or a 10-day window that we're looking at and reading here of bad luck. Maybe not just the time for you. Maybe the timing's just not it right now. Maybe you just got to work through it. They actually show you going backwards. They show an action going backwards in the past here. So I don't know what that is, if that's going back and looking at things in your past, some lessons that you've learned, or maybe some people that you've dated in the past, reevaluating that. Maybe you, like I said at the very beginning, maybe you got rid of somebody that maybe you shouldn't have. Maybe they would have worked out really good for you. So at any rate, they show you looking back at the past, moving actually backwards to go forwards. It's an interesting message, but that's quite clear that that's what it is. So that's what we have for Aquarius singles. As we move into Aquarius couples, the first thing they want to talk about is a level of heartbreak. Now, this can come up in a bunch of different ways, and the context is going to be key. It's going to depend on the different Aquarius couples, what you're going through. This could be the relationship. It could be a heartbreak within it. It could be within the family, too, because anything close to your heart can come up here. So a lot of you are dealing with a high level of heartbreak here, or pain, something cerebral, if not actual pain. They show a lot of you are moving behind this, or it's behind you. You're moving past it. They show you moving forward with the lessons that you've learned. So a lot of you, this could be, moving into a different era in the relationship. Learning from certain things, certain setbacks, learning from your lessons. They show you guys do a really great job of learning from your lessons. Otherwise, this card, this 10 of Wands that I'm reading here, would be inverted. They'd be showing me that, you have not learned from your lessons. You got to repeat those again. And that's not what they're showing. They're showing that you actually are carrying with you all this information, all this knowledge, all these things that you've learned, moving toward the future. So even though we started out with that first card a little rough these next 10 days, it moves in a good progression. So I'm not worried about it all for my Aquariuses. You guys are moving in the right direction. Hopefully you understand the context of what they're trying to tell you here. So that's what we have for Aquarius couples. Next we move into Libra. Libra is next. Libra singles here. And Libra couples here. Okay. For my Libra singles, the first thing they want to talk about is perception and mindset. A lot of you are looking at the bad side of things right now. They want you to look right behind you. They want you to turn this around and look at all the gifts you still have. Look at all the wonderful things in your life, the wonderful people, the love, the family, the friends, all that good stuff. Don't get stuck on the dark side of like what you don't have or what's missing. You know, look at the fulfilling parts instead of the empty parts. That's where it starts. A lot of you are getting over being extremely tied down here. So for some of you, this is just more mobility as far as maybe you've gotten out of a long relationship or a long-term, dating somebody or seeing somebody for a length of time, and now you're getting over it. You're getting more mobility, all that kind of stuff. This could also be cerebral. So some of you may be getting over kind of feeling tied down, or at least almost kind of this constrictive thing. So it's a bunch more freedom is what it presents itself as. So there's a lot of opportunities here for Libra singles. It's really, what are you going to do with them? That's really the main factor. That's the main key. That's what they want you to think about these next 10 days and address. Not so much do anything, but we got to switch this around. We got to switch the perception around to the base card, which is the Five of Cups. You need to turn around and look at all the wonderful things you have. That way, because if you don't do that, you focus on the negative, you're just going to attract more of it, and that's what we don't want to happen. So that's what we need to work on there for Libra. Libra singles. Libra couples, they talk about blocked home. So the home is not coming in good. I'm not sure why. There is an element of theft or loss going on here. I hope that's not like the heavy kind, because there are varying degrees of how this is going to affect all the Libra couples. But the house is coming in blocked. So I don't know if there's something going on within the home, or it's just turbulence within the home, or the home environment maybe needs a little bit of work, or it needs some energy right now because it's not coming in clean. It's coming in blocked. So the context of that, why that is, it's going to be different for everybody. All the Libra couples are, going through a different aspect of this. But the theft or loss, it could, at the same time, I need to remind you to lock up your home when this card comes up. Usually that's not what this is about. In a love reading, this is more about, people stealing from you or perhaps stealing out of your home. So be cautious definitely these next 10 days. This energy is going to go away, within a short amount of time here. December 4th, something like that? This energy is gone. So right now, during this time, really just kind of watch who you invite in your home, who you trust, all that kind of stuff, because there is a kind of a shady kind of aspect going on here. Hopefully it's not, your person. I don't really view it as that. It's more of a vague message than it is specific. It doesn't really pinpoint exactly who this is, where this is, and how it presents itself. But it comes up in this way, so since it's a general reading, I have to kind of give you all of it. So there we go. That's Libra couples. So that comes up not to be negative, but to be precautionary. They just want you to be aware of what's going on so that you don't get stuck in a bad spot. So very good stuff there. We're going to wrap up with Virgo in this deck. Virgo will be the last one. Here we go, Virgo. Virgo singles. Big theme there. That's going to be a big one. Over here, Virgo couples. All right. Need one more card here. There we go. Okay, Virgo singles, you're learning. It's a really good time to learn new things these next 10 days. You're learning things about perhaps yourself. Really a lot of self-learning, self-nurturing right now. I have that in the Oracle card, Nurture. They really want you to take care of yourself, just like you would take care of a child. They really want self-love right here, Virgo. Virgo singles, a lot of self-love going on these next 10 days. Bad credit, that's a return. That's something you don't get a return on investment there, with the Six of Pentacles being inverted. So they want you to pay attention to what you devote your energy into. Don't put your energy into places that it's not going to come back to you at the same level that you're putting something into it. So that could be people also. That could be, if you're talking to somebody and you just know that they're just not going to match your energy level. They're not going to put in what you put in. That's kind of the vibe. That's what they're talking about here. We also have the Eight of Wands. That's the fastest card in the deck. It's coming in inverted, so that turns it into the slowest card in the deck. So we have slow down a little bit, perhaps, for my Virgo singles. Don't rush things. It's not really the time to rush into things. And especially as new things are being presented and shown to you right now. The window of sight right now is very clear. You're seeing things very clearly. A lot of truth can come out of things. So slow down and absorb all this truth. Like I said, learn new things. Nurture yourself. This is a very reflective, like on an internal level type of reflection, like looking inside yourself these next 10 days. So that's what we have for Virgo singles. Very good. Virgo couples, they show a small victory here. This is something that is worth celebrating, something, a small win, moving the relationship perhaps in a positive direction. small success, something like that comes up. Very vague message, but for a general reading, that's kind of the best I can do with that card. But since it's good news, I'm not really worried about it. The next card they show after that is another 6. This is the 6 of Swords, and they show that moving into a calmer area in the relationship. So things are improving, things are getting smoother, calmer, less rapids, less struggles, less issues, less chaos, conflict, all that stuff. So enjoy the ride these next 10 days. It's going to be a good one. That's what they show there. So that's going to wrap up our 6 signs there. We have Cancer, Aries, Pisces, Aquarius, Libra, and Virgo all wrapped up into this video. So that's going to wrap us up here. I do want to thank you for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all soon.